Okay, so we finished up the first half of this section. Now we're going to finish up the second half by going over maps. And this is a method for arrays. So again, if you're new to this channel and you would like to follow along with the curriculum, the link is in the description. It's a free curriculum. You're welcome to follow along. It doesn't cost anything and you don't have to register for it. So without further ado, let's get back into the section and let's finish up this section. Here we have an example, the array method map. Now, just to let you know, you're going to use this quite a lot, especially when you are going to iterate over some data, especially when you're fetching data. You're going to map over the items in that data so you can display it, that you can put it in some type of component that you're going to create in the future when you create your software. So you need to get a good understanding of map, and that means you're going to have to practice it, because in the beginning it may not make sense to you. Now, one of the things I want to point out to you is that the array method map, remember, it's an array method. It only works on arrays. One of the biggest mistakes that you're going to make as a new developer, junior developer, is that you're going to try to map over an object, and you're going to get frustrated because you keep wondering why this is not working, because the method map is only for arrays. So just remember that and understand that. So the more you do, the more you're going to improve. You're going to understand it. So it says allows for every element in an array to be mapped or translated. So that means we're going to iterate over it just like a for loop, similar to a for loop. Using a given function, here's how to use it. So here we're going to create a variable, meaning we're going to declare and establish a variable. But what's different about this is that we got this sum array that's holding some type of data in an array, a collection of data in it. And we want to map over it, and we're going to use this function. It's going to be a function to pull out the information we need so we can store it in this particular variable. Now, when the map method executes, the following action occurs. The first element in some array is passed into the function just like a for loop as an argument. It's passing as an argument, not a parameter, but an argument. With now 2, function name executes and return a new value. It's returning a new value. It's not destroying the old value or the old variable, what the object array that's in that particular object. It's not destroying it, it's just returning a new value. The return value is added to the map array, which be this right here, which is an object that's storing the new array. Steps 1 through 3 repeats for each element in some array till it actually goes through and find every element you want, or that it goes to the whole, go through everything that's in that element, because you may just want specific data that you want out of a particular array. Now, when complete, map array contains each of the individual return values from the mapping function name. So you may create your function just to go through and pick out the data that you want, or you may have a function you want to get all the data. So here we have an example. Here's the nums, and it has an array that has 3 items in it, 3 numbers, and remember, array are index base 0, 1, 2. And then we create here this particular function that returns n times 2. And so we have the function n returns n times 2. And then we want to double it. We create another variable that doubles it. So this time we're using num.map. We map over the items in this particular object, which is an array of 3 items. And then we use the times 2 function to multiply n times 2. So you see here, num, we didn't destroy the variable, we just returned a new one. So notice that map does not alter the original array. When using map, many programmers would define the mapping function anonymously in the same statement as the method call. Here's an example. This program has the same output as the one immediately above. The mapping function is defined anonymously with the call to map. Here you go. So this time, instead of us having a separate helper function, we just put it all inside of this double object right here, this word double, and we just added the function here, and double now is returning the new values. Now check your understanding. Now we made it to the end of this section. It's a lot to chew on, it's a lot to take in. So the best way to do it is take your time and go through it one step at a time, go line by line till it makes sense to you enough. You're not gonna understand it 100%. Get me? That's just how it is. That's normal. You're not going to know all of it. You're not going to get it 100%. We just want to give you a little bit at a time. We want to retain a little bit more every time we go over a new section, every time we introduce a new concept. That's why I like to go back and do reviews so it can keep it fresh in your mind. Okay, so that's the end of this full section. We're going to go to the next section. So remember, the more you do, the more you improve.